where there's smoke. That's why I was saying.
Well, there's smoke. There's fire. You can see smoke. You know it's fire. You might can't see fire, but if you see smoke, you know it's
There was a fire.
All right. So read Job 17:1 again.
what it's all
Ain't none of that on record. Come on.
My breath is corrupt, my days are extinct, the graves are ready for me.
Don't read the Proverbs 22:7. Now we dealing with why is the definition of the word corrupt means pledge. So we dealing why is your breath a debt? Go ahead.
The rich rule over the poor,
And the borrower.
a servant to the lender.
So with that being said, we know that both of that mean the borrower is a servant to the lender, or he who borrows is a servant to him who gave the pledge. Which also goes into when we were reading 2 Corinthians, we judge that if one died, then we all dead, and that the love of Hamashiach constrain us, and then you serve him in newness of life. But nevertheless, John 8:32.
And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you
Cut
free.
you all real quick. I'm glad I got mine yesterday.
And said, they answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How say you, you shall be made free? And I shall answer them, truly, truly, I say unto you,
Right.
whosoever commits sin is the servant of sin.
So listen, if you commit sin, you in bondage to said sin, which means that you would need to be set free, because the borrower is a servant to the lender. So then we mentioned, how is a man's breath the debt? Genesis 2:7. Go ahead.
And Yahuwah Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
Verse 17, chapter 2, book of Genesis.
But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it, for in the day that you eat thereof you shall surely die.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. Verse 19, excuse me.
And the sweat of your face shall you eat bread till you return to the ground, for out of it was you taken, for dust you are, and unto dust shall you return.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7.
Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the ruach shall return unto Elohim who gave it.
Now, this is evidence at this point because of the sin of Adam that the breath is a sign of a debt. Because the debt that they have to pay is death based off of the disobedience. The breath is the sign of that debt. That's why it's the pledge. I'm going to take that back because lenders require collateral majority of the time, depending on what you borrow. You know what I'm saying? Now, in America, you don't necessarily have to put up collateral for two purchases, and that's usually a car and a home. But in reality, what they call collateral is your down payment. They just don't call it that. Because then the worst part is, them phone crackers don't even really take a lot off the purchase price with the down payment. So it ain't even really no collateral. It's really just they charging you to do business. I remember the first time a car dealer told us that your down payment don't even come off your car. That go in the dealer pocket. I said, well, shoot, what I'm paying this nigga for? Point me to the nigga that's gonna chop something up off this car. But what am I giving you $2,000 for? You supposed to, that means you get eaten twice off me. You getting your commission and the down payment. Oh no. Oh no. And if I try to lie and say it's your credit score determine that. No, nigga, you're trying to gaffle. Yeah, that's what they be doing. But nevertheless, but like when you look at, say, the best part, the best thing, the example to use is not a loan, but a surety bond, which is what you use when you bond somebody out of jail. And usually when you bond somebody out of jail, they want collateral, saying that if this person don't show up, we'll take the collateral in place of the individual. So in this instance, your breath is a pledge, so somebody has to come in and be that security pledge and that collateral, and that's where Mashiach come in. 1 Corinthians 15:43.
It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in esteem. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. There's a natural body, there's a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul,
The second,
a quickening ruach.
so considering that the breath that's in your lungs is a sign of the dead, the Ruach HaKodesh that one received because his love is enough for you, and he's drawn you with loving kindness, and greater love had no man than this, that a man lay his life down for his friends. Therefore, you get the life-giving gift of the Ruach HaKodesh, which takes the place of the dead. so that he is the resurrection and the life. Whosoever live and believe in him will never taste death. But now let's return. I believe that was everything. Romans 6:17. Go ahead. Romans 6:17.
It say, but Elohim be thanked that you were the servants of sin, which you have obeyed from the heart, that form of doctrine which was delivered to you.
So if you was a servant to sin, I mean you were in bondage. I mean you would have to have a debt. Whoever commits sin has a debt. Go ahead.
Being then made free from sin, you became the servants of righteousness.
Once Mashiach come and set you free, that debt has been paid. But see, you can't pay the debt. Pause. Psalm 49:7, because you can't pay the debt.
None of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to Elohim a ransom for him, for the redemption of his...
He can't do what?
Redeem his brother,
Or?
nor give to Elohim a ransom for him.
Why?
For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceased forever.
Go ahead and give him ransom and redemption just for a refresher. You should have to die for one of them.
Ransom is kofar.
Kofar, that's the price of a life.
And then redeem is padah, to ransom, redeem, rescue, deliver.
Now, when you pay a bond to get somebody out of jail, you redeeming them. How many of y'all ever bonded somebody out? You done bonded somebody out? Who you bonded out? Oh, hell no. Who got out of jail? What you in jail for?
I take you out to say.
No, I mean, is it a felony?
I hope y'all will know.
Oh, this recent?
I tell you out to say.
Oh, no, I'm not being funny like this here. I'm just saying, I
I
think you just did that. No, I'm thinking that's something you know wow.
She a baby. I mean, she no baby. She a baby, so it ain't
Yeah, you like, no, you think it last week. But you gotta go down there, you gotta drop that 10. But see, every state don't do 10%. Some states where you gotta bring the whole thing. Cash bond. Being cash, they want it all. No ones. No more bills. You don't know about that. You ever see the movie, they say the whole nigga for ransom, they say, well, I want all unmarked bills. I don't even know the hell that means. I don't know what the bank do. Doris knows, she worked in there. Oh, you had marked bills in there? You know, you was in there stealing people money. You was in there stealing people money. Doris said that like this here, I'm gonna take 500 off the account, shift it over here, put it in a dummy account. Everybody, they ain't gonna miss it. She looked at that, all right, Mr. Jones, how you doing today? See, he got 500,000 in there. I'm gonna slide a couple thousand. See, Doris is smart enough. She said, I ain't gonna take a lot. Just take just enough. They ain't gonna miss it. They gonna think it's a draft. You know how to go in there and make it look like somebody drafted it out. Yeah, you know about what you were doing. That's how you were buying all the hats. Oh yeah, when I was young, they getting got.
Let me see.
Oh, they getting got. All that, boy, I'm finna devise and infinite. Yeah, boy, I need all that about you. Yeah, man, and Mr. Charlie, man, hey, man, y'all been stealing. Was right, good for the goose, good for the gander. That's what it's saying. Who? From 18 to 20, 27? Oh yeah, that's how I seen it, boy. I got to have him. I gotta get him off of here. This is only one, and that's me. You know what I'm saying? After I get mine, you can do what you want to do. I get mine, boy. I'm from Spain. You know what I'm saying? Them people been stealing from us for centuries. Shoot, don't come crying to me crying about a few $100, $1,000. You stole lands and souls.
That's right.
Shoot. Got me messed up, nigga. I be screaming.
But don't encourage that.
I tell you, man, that's how I seen it. I ain't say it was right, I ain't say it was wrong. I'm just saying that's how I seen it. That was my thought process. Y'all been stealing from from the black man for centuries, hell, from poor people, period. I'm finna get you. I ain't gonna say all that. I'm gonna get you. Oh, they did say that. They did say manifest destiny. God say, we gotta send you pagan beast souls to hell and take your land and your resources. And you wanna size me because I wanna hit you across the head for a stack or two? I ain't killed nobody. Y'all killing people, poisoning water. Well, you see they finna build a data center around here? I've been hearing people talk about the things I'm like, shoot, they're trying to build one in Nassau County. Yeah, they say that junk mess up the water. No more spring water. Shoot, ain't none in Nassau anyway. They say that junk will mess with your lights around here and everything, man. They say if something go bad, they gotta go to the data center to keep it going.
You see all the animals was dying, that was raised up by, there was a lot of farm into it, and it said all the calves, they were dying right after they were born. Stillborn. A lot of them stillborn, or they were dying, because they was like babies.
Damn, what the hell they got to got? Clearly. They ain't no day, that's a data, nigga dying. Shoot. Come on, Sid, that's disturbing. Nigga said, now we can't get a good hamburger. Can't even get no veal. You know what I'm saying? Little Johnny like veal burgers. Go ahead, buddy.
We got a song for you now?
Yes, sir.
But that's just the aspect of a price of a life has to be paid in order to redeem. If there's a price of a life of a covert, that means there's a debt, which takes us back to the kinsman redeemer, which is why pt5 is used in order to ransom you from a debt or from a suretyship, which is bondage, if you would. Somebody has to pay that price. Go ahead. Romans 6 and 17.
Say, but Elohim be thanked that you were the servants of sin, but you have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered to you. Being then made free from sin, you became the servants of righteousness.
Right.
I speak after the manner of men because of the infirmity of your flesh.
Because of the what?
Because of the infirmity of your flesh.
What about it?
For as you have yielded your members servants to uncleanness and to iniquity unto iniquity.
Now.
Even yield your members servants to righteousness unto Kadash.
And?
For you the servants of sin,
you were
free from righteousness.
See, and that's why your breath is corrupt. Because at this point, Adam is a servant to sin because of his disobedience. That's why Job can come back later and say, my breath is corrupt. It's a pledge. Your breath is a sign of a debt that has to be paid. Because that breath got to go back to him who gave it. Why does it have to go back to him that gave it? Because the soul that sinned, it shall die. Go ahead.
He said, for when you the servants of sin, you were free from righteousness. What fruit had you then in those things where you are now ashamed? For the end of those things is death. But now being made free from sin, you become servants to Elohim. You have your fruit unto Kadash, and the end, everlasting life.
What up?
For the wages of sin is death.
But the
gift of Elohim is eternal life through Yahshua Mashiach our Lord.
What's the name buffering there throughout the answer to the question would have been the kinsman redeemer. The kinsman redeemer is the example of whatever question I asked. I can't remember the question, but I knew that was the answer. You know what I'm saying? The kinsman redeemer. He the one buying you back. You know what I'm saying? When you sold yourself to a stranger, you sold yourself into bondage. He the one buying you back because he got to pay the ransom. You know what I'm saying? You know, they mentioned ransom, but you know, they wouldn't say ransom either. But he the one got to pay it back for the debt. Matter of fact, I don't even think it say that nowhere. Shalom. Go to 1 Samuel 22 and 1.
David therefore departed thence and escaped to a cave called Adullam. And when his brethren and all his father's house heard, they went down there to him. Everyone that was in distress, everyone that was in debt, everyone that was discontented.
Everyone that was in what?
That was in debt, and everyone that was discontented gathered themselves unto him.
Gathered themselves to who?
unto him, and he became a captain over them. And there were with him about 400 men.
Stop. Give them that by definition. Who this is they coming unto, see?
David.
Mm.
That is Nashah, to lend on interest or usury, to be a creditor, to act as a creditor.
To be a what?
To be a creditor.
What did they say to him in John 6? Was that John 6? I think it was. Say, he said, we ain't been in bondage to any man. We ain't been a creditor. Ain't nobody been our creditor. Now, everybody who been in debt coming to him. But what did he tell you to pray for? Well, how did he tell you to pray? Well, let's check it then. Matthew 6 and 15. Shalom, each man.
Verse 12.
Yeah. Matthew 6 and 12.
It's saying, forgive us our debts.
No, you can read the whole thing.
Oh, from the beginning.
Yeah, you ain't halfway through it. That's how you end up in debt.
Verse 5. It's saying, when you pray, you shall not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray, standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Truly I say unto you, they have the reward. But you, when you pray, enter into your closet, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Abba, which is in secret. And your Abba, which see in secret, shall reward you openly.
Come on.
But when you pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do.
You really could have went to verse 9, but it's all right. Go ahead.
For they think that they should be heard of much speaking.
Now, see, that goes back to what I was mentioning y'all last night. And I don't know why when I seen that lady post that it irritated me in that capacity, but it really did. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that there's people teaching people to pray for a husband and pray for a wife and pray for a job and pray for a car and pray for all this doggone temporary stuff. And you sound like a flat out imbecile and a fool. Because it don't cross your mind damn time. Let me pray to receive your spirit. Let me get my wisdom increased. Let me get some understanding. Let me be able to be facilitated with a gift of his spirit that push forward his will. It's always some junk that you want, that you desire, and then you try to cloak it and say this God will. And that junk really irritates the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't make no sense. I told you, Solomon could have asked this man for anything, and he asked him for wisdom to understand judgment. That man say, whoa, you ain't asked me for no bread, for your enemy's lives. That's why he gave him everything. That's why he came at him like that when he was messing with them women and you worshiping their gods. That's why he came at him like, why done appear to you twice, boy? I done hit you off with this, that, and the third, and boy, you go do that? But what you on? Listen, we read the verse the other day. He said, hey man, these are the things that the Gentiles seek. But seek the kingdom of Elohim and his righteousness, and all that be added unto you. I think it irritates me because of the socialization of this society. Again, like I mentioned last night and the previous time before, as if this man is a genie in a witch ground. Meanwhile, you haven't achieved any of the gifts of Elohim, his attributes, or anything of the sort, and you have deceived yourself into believing God is with you, or as it says in Timothy, if you think gain is godliness, you have a perverse and a corrupt mind. What good is it? And I'm going to reference it now because I told you that's what we're going to go to next. Is Solomon talking about how all the things of this life is vanity. Now that's to give you a just weight and a just balance on the dichotomy between that. You know what I'm saying? Because even with this, it's a just weight and a just balance. Nevertheless, this man tell you, I already know what you have need of. And most of the time what people are asking this man for, it don't even be what you have need of. It be the stuff you want. So that goes to why I reference James 4. You ask not because you receive not, because you ask amiss, because you seek to consume it upon your desires. And it goes back to show that his love is not enough, or you don't want to serve him with a ready heart and a willing mind, or this is what it is to understand and know me, for I am Yahuwah, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness. These are the things that I take pleasure in. We don't take pleasure in that because you know why? Because you want to be able to go out and say, God, don't play by me. Look at my car. Nigga, that car gonna pass away. Matter of fact, since I said that, go read in Isaiah chapter 40, man, verse 10. Matter of fact, make it verse 4.
Every valley shall be exalted, every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. The esteem of Yahuwah shall be revealed, all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of Yahuwah hath spoken. The voice said, Cry, and he said, What shall I cry? All flesh is grass, all the goodliness thereof is as the flower of the field.
Listen,
The grass withereth, the flower fades, because the rock of Yahuwah blow upon it. Surely the people is grass.
go ahead.
The grass withereth and the flower fades.
But
The word of our Elohim shall stand forever.
that's what people problem is. Boy, that car gonna pass away, boy. That house gonna pass away. You think every house that's ever been built still standing? They knock down houses every day and build new ones in their place. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's one thing that's eternal. That's the word of Yahuwah that don't pass away. And we're not trained to seek of this man the things that are eternal. Because we've been trained to badger this man, if you would, things of no consequence. Ain't nothing for him to get you no house or no. Listen, man, that man say he take men and from the dunghill and set them amongst princes. That's not difficult for this man to do. You know what I'm saying? But read 1 Samuel 22:1 one more time. You always passing that baby off, man. He ain't no football. You better hold him. I ain't asked you nothing about that. I don't care nothing about all that. Pass me again. Pass me again. You give me all that back talk, sass. Have one baby, you think you gonna? Hey, I don't know. You steady. Keep it up. Keep it up. Yeah, look at your best toe. Look at your best toe. Just take a look at it. Tell it goodbye, because you're gonna lose it. Come on, sis.
It say David therefore departed thence and escaped to the cave Adullam, and when his brethren and all his father's
Now, if you remember, tell them what Adullam means.
that is justice of the people.
What you think that referred to? They go to the cave, that's the justice for the people. The righteousness for the people, man. What they get when they when they went in that cave, man, what they got? Well, who went in that cave after that? I don't know if y'all remember this here. We dealt with this before. Oh, no.
It said,
My bad, that sounded like I was asking. He didn't pick up his cue.
and all his father's house heard it, they went down there to him, and everyone that was in distress,
And what?
that was in distress,
And what else?
everyone that was in debt,
And what else?
everyone that was discontented,
And what else?
gathered themselves unto him, and he became a captain over them, and there were with him about 400 men.
Now, why is David in this cave? He was on the run. Why was he on the run? Because he was being persecuted. Now, what does this take us back to what we discussed last night? You got to enter in what, Sid?
Straight men.
What that straight meant? Distress. You know what I'm saying? A little trouble. In that trouble, I mentioned that because the book tell you in the Epistle of Hebrew that the captain of your salvation was made perfect through what? Suffering. David is going through sufferings and everything. Tell them what discontented means. I know you know what that means. And distress. But what it is to be discontented.
You got marah, so that's bitter or bitterness of water or food, of a harlot's end, or an end of wickedness, a pride, or you got pain.
All those that are in pain.
And then you got the fesh or nephash.
The pain in the soul. Now, why am I mentioning that in congruence of what we were discussing last night? Everybody that has pain in the soul. And what we read this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. Numbers 10 and 33 said what? See it? Off the top of your head. You ain't got to go get it. But somebody can tell me what it say. 10 and 33. Where was the ark going, Sid? What was it going to do?
Oh, seek a resting place.
That's what the cave That's the justice of the people was for. That was a resting place for everybody who was in trouble, everybody who was in pain, everybody who had a debt. He said, come unto me, all you that labor and heavy laden, I'm going to give you rest. You know what I'm saying? Well, why do you need that? Because your breath is corrupt, because there's a debt to pay. This is why his love is enough for you when his strength is made perfect in weakness. Because imagine this, David is going through all this distress, and even in that, he carved out a place for anybody who was in pain so that he could be a captain over it. Now, why would you think that these people in pain would come to a man? Because clearly they had to believe that he had the ability to alleviate said pain. Give me the epistles to the Hebrews I mentioned beforehand, man, 5 and 7. And that's why I say that junk kind of irritates me when I see it, because I know it's socialization. I know the individual lady didn't mean nothing by it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how you've been trained, pray for a husband. But when you read in the text, ain't nobody praying for no husband. And truth be told, ain't nobody praying for no wife neither. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the first thing she said, because he just find a wife. Man, them people wasn't sitting around praying for no wife. That's new stuff. That's 20th, probably 19th, 20th, and 21st century nigga church stuff. Them people wasn't praying for no wife. Why would they do that? Listen, right? We were talking about this earlier, right? Because I don't know how they got on this last night after we got finished, man. And I had stood in there see what people were talking about, right? They were talking about Judges 19. So I'm going to ask y'all this same question. And I'm going to give you the 3 options. The Benjamites in Judges 19, were they A, gay, B, bisexual, or C, neither one? I give you the context of why that was my option. And it takes the understanding the context of actual Hebrew customs of how that worked. Because according to Hebrew customs, they're not gay. Even though they came to a man's house seeking a man's butt. They're not gay according to Hebrew customs because you actually have to follow through with it. Like you actually have to have sex with the dude to be considered a sodomite. See, now I mean, when you look at it as forefathers, we just talking about strict Hebrew custom. On your mind, because guess what? It could be on your mind to kill somebody and then you don't do it. Are you a murderer? Because you could take that parable where he said there was one son who he said, go into my vineyard, and he didn't go. He said, I'll go, and didn't go. And there was one that said, I won't go, but repented and went. He said, which one did his father's will? He said, the one that repented and went. So you get yourself in a slippery slope when you say, well, just because you had a thought or desire to do something, that means you are that even if you didn't do it. Because then we can't isolate it and let it be for sissies and then say it don't apply to nothing else. Now, I would say the intent is that they homosexual is, I would probably bet money that that's not the first time that they had did something like that. Because you just don't randomly just pop up at a strange man's house and say who that man is in there, send him out here so I can anally pleasure him. Yeah, but they didn't follow through with it. So according to Hebrew customs, you actually have to do it. Now, if you want to take it a step further, it's the thoughts of sin as foolishness because they plot, plan, and devise to go do that. So it was a sin of you a punk in that regard. But an actual deed, no. Now, why did they have sex with the woman? Because they put the woman out there instead of the dude. But they wanted pussy. But that's what they was out there for. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, that's in and of itself, but that's a concubine. So a concubine is a little lower than a wife. But that's a concubine. They're going to say wife, but they tell you in Judges 19 that was his concubine. They use wife as a term because of the Hebrew word ishah, but that's not a wife. Concubines aren't wives. They under a wife. That's why they told Jephthah in Judges 11, oh, you got to get out because your mama is a concubine. You're not going to inherit with her. See, if you're a concubine, listen, I told this before, the only way you put this in modern terms. If your mama was a side chick, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be in your daddy's will if he got that bread like that because you're not considered to be legitimate. You know what I'm saying? Concubines didn't have inheritance rights. So their sons or daughters didn't have them either, because you're not considered to be a legitimate heir. Yeah, I get that, but he can't. It's not adultery per se because she's not a wife; she's a concubine.
You're not talking about wife.
I'm sorry, anybody can like wife.
Yeah.
If you desire another person's wife, not in the book, is it not a sin to desire someone's wife? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm only referring to Judges 19, not anything
How is
outside.
it not a sin to desire man? But if you can desire, if it's a sin to desire.
Oh, because that's covenant.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I just told you the thoughts of foolishness is sin. They devised the plot to rape a man.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? But that's the sin in itself. They're talking about, is he a homosexual? You can't say he's a homosexual if he didn't have sex with the dude. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're telling you. Technically, Hebrew custom, you not that sin until you do it. That don't mean you don't look at it and be like, oh, that nigga's gay. You know what I'm saying? Because nigga, you knocked on the man's door and say, hey, those some nice looking glutes. Can I partake? So you're gay. That's just like somebody asked me if a dude get pegged, is he gay? Even if a woman do it, yes, he's gay. Because you daydream of a male's member violating you. Just because a woman had it strapped to her body and doing the thrusting, you know what I'm saying, sir? Ain't nobody been in the open. You been over, you gay. You a gay, sir. You wanted a hot dog in your bun, no mustard, no ketchup, raw. That's what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? But my dog said, hey, they bisexual, which is fair. But also, they my homegirl who is Jewish, you know what I'm saying, black Jew, she referring it's difficult to put modern thought processes on the people. Because like they would mention in the aspect of what we would define as rape, they would not. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will run to that passage when, you know, you go to war, you see a beautiful woman, you want to take it with you, they say that's rape because she didn't consent. Yeah, according to our paradigm of how we judge it, but that's not how they judged it back then. That's not fair to put that standard on them. Because that's not the world that they lived in. You ain't got to like it, you ain't got to agree with it. But nevertheless, that was the world that they lived in. You know what I'm saying? But when you take what the Benjamites did in Judges 19, clearly because, you know, they got punished for that. Man, what happened in Judges 19 to the Benjamites, man? You know what happened?
Yeah.
You know what happened? Yeah, you know what happened. Y'all talking about some, how many Benjamites you know in Judges 19? How many Benjamites you know at all? You know a nigga named Benjamin? I didn't say Benjamin, I said Benjamin. Why you don't know nobody named Benjamin? Roll your eyes at me. You need some big glasses. Yeah, we talking about them niggas. What about it? What you know about it? There was a war. That war was predicated from Yahuwah because of what they, but see, it's not just the aspect of what they did to the woman. Remember, they took the woman's body and cut it up in 12 pieces and sent it out and what they did. And then what did the people say in regards to them? Them boys swore, oh, would nobody get their daughters to them boys. The whole country of Benjamin had to suffer because of a few sodomites. Then, of course, they did something to get them out. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? It's the aspect of intent and fulfillment. Now, when you look in the Gospels and the epistle letters, like it tell you, hey, you can have a thought that exalts itself against the knowledge of a Mashiach, you have to cast it down. I want to say it's a slippery slope, because the reason why I said it, because we'll be ready, willing, and able to say, you know, if it's some old gay stuff, you're going to attack that with all manner of veracity. But when it's something else, you know, people be a little timid. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to lump all that stuff in the same group. It's all in the same group. Because you need that debt paid too, because you're dealing with some type of father. You know what I'm saying? But now, like you said, it's the aspect of, it's not the thought per se, it's the desire. But then when we talk about, but even with the desire is not an issue if you kill the desire. The issue comes down to you plotting, planning, and devising to go do it. It's no different. You be like, hey man, you booked the hotel, you called the girl, you drove over there to pick her up, you bought you a plan B and some prophylactics. You plot, plan, and devise to have a sexual dalliance. Versus if you saw a woman and you was like, well, I beat her back in. But then you be like, you know what? That's against the word of God, so I'm not gonna do that.
Hey, I was just telling her, we was talking about that, but I was, and this is just me, I could be wrong, but she asked me about what it say if a man think of so himself,
You know, and that got referenced last night. I'm glad you said that. Somebody brought it up last night.
And I figured you would be able to leave that.
Let's take a look at
That's
it.
what I was
Proverbs 23:1. I'm glad I had forgot about it because Sister E referenced that last night, saying that there, but it's not that passage get kind of, you know, convoluted
telling you. I
with
wrote it
stuff.
down too, but I like to hear what you said.
They get convoluted sometimes because sometimes it's, you can think about murdering. Are you a murderer?
When you brought that example up,
Probably
in
not.
my mind, if you believe yourself to be a certain type of man, if that thought or desire crosses
Yeah, because it's going to be calculated esteem for thinking, if my memory serves me correct.
you wouldn't be able to go through with it if you believe yourself to be a certain type of
Yeah, you're not. I mean, like I said, the love of my shot constrain us. I say you can look at that one, boy, she bad, well, I beat her back in. The love of God will stop you.
right.
Does that mean that you are a fornicator or an adulterer or lascivious?
Because you thought it.
No. And I say that because that's the Christian ethos of making you believe you always gonna sin because you have carnal thoughts. You're a human being. So you may have thoughts that are contrary to the will of Elohim. How do we know this in it? For the Ruach is willing, flesh is weak.
I know, yeah, we'll talk about that junk though, but that's like your flesh, like, that's you fighting your flesh, correct?
I mean, sometimes it's gonna be the fight in the flesh per se. Sometimes you just have a desire, but you know you're not gonna act on it. Some people it is a fight. It's individual. You know what I'm saying? You could have a thought pop in your brain and it's not a fight. It's just a flesh contrary. And you be like, shoot, you ain't paying that money. That's see when you really get rooted in the word and the word is in you and you in the word, them thoughts don't even mean nothing to you.
That's why I say it's what you believe about yourself. If you really believe you at a certain point,
But if you weak for that, yeah, it's gonna be a fight.
you still don't believe that you both come.
Yeah, because some people have weaknesses for certain things. You know, yams are just what people mention because sex is usually the thing that the average person has a weakness for. You know, we talked about this before. The Lord wasn't getting tempted with no yams because nobody tempted him with no sex because that wasn't nothing that he not weak for that. You wasn't weak for nothing per se, but there's still things that he got tempted on. Sometimes your faith get tried. Sometimes you doing X, Y, Z get tried. So, you know, it's an individual thing. Because little Johnny might, hey man, they could, old girl could walk in there, get butt booty naked, bend over, like, come get it. He's like, man, you a whole trip. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could come in, God forbid, I don't want to say we can put an ornament, offer, hey man, deny your God for $1 million. I do got a lot of bills. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be weak for that, and that, you know what? I might compromise God's word for a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? You know, sold my soul for a Happy Meal. It was a crappy deal. What the man said, you heard that quote? That's what Kanye said on stage. See, when it comes to stuff like that, in all seriousness, though, people like to make it a one-size-fit-all, like it's not a snapback. It's really like a fitted hat. You got to find the one that fits your head. You know what I'm saying? Snapback, one size fit all.
Johnny got that fit so late. He got that fit so late.
Different strokes for different folks.
But I'm real though. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't one size fit all. Because that's how people, but I think that's because that's how the church and a lot of Hebrew congregations push it, that it's one size fit all. And it's not, because you're individuals. What he told you, every man know the plague of his own heart. So everybody don't have the same issue. Now the flesh lust against the spirit, so that you do the things that you ought not. But if you hear his word in your heart that you might not sin against him, and you take it up your stake daily that you might follow him, then those things don't really happen. Dog can pop in, it means nothing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else that thought pop in, he's like, shoot, I hope it not blink at me.
I think the organized religions don't explain the process it takes to get to that point.
They do
A
not.
lot of people have not gotten to that point in the organization, so then they can't really elaborate. To you
They can't fathom it.
Yeah, what that look like.
That's why when we run across people, they look at it like we stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't even fathom what a nigga talking about. Because don't nobody talk about it. Like I mentioned to you last night, that's no disrespect to that brother. When I mentioned like, oh, this the real aim, you could tell that nobody had ever brought that to him before. Because he was like, that's a great idea. It's not a great idea for me, sir. This is what's on the paper. You know what I'm saying? But you know why you don't pick that up on the paper? Because don't nobody talk about it. They're going to talk about it, you know, on the top. But to actually go in depth and, hey, man, this is what these people were doing. Y'all claim that we supposed to be replicating this, that, there, and the third, and y'all can't even replicate being down with people. Because the people that walk up on each other and say what your doctrine was, what your camp was. You keep the commandments, brother? I ain't lie, that just still through me. I say, yeah, man, we an Israelite congregation, we out east. Oh, so y'all keep the commandment. I wanted to say, nigga. That's like, nigga. Because I purposely chose those words to communicate that to you without having to say it. You know what I'm saying?
And you still needed to ask.
And you still needed to ask.
You just wanted it on the record, man.
No, but then you know what I'm saying? But again, right? And this is the dichotomy, because I'm like, nigga, in my brain. At the same time, I'm already knowing you don't know no better. Because this is how you've been socialized to act and interact. You know what I'm saying? I know you don't know no better, but at the same time, it's exasperating that we this old and we got to go be. You know what I'm saying? But come on, sir. What we finna throw that?
Proverbs 23, then 1. We're holding Hebrews 5. So,
All right.
it said, when you sit to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before you.
Hold on one second. Everyone knows it. Yep. Indeed. Say John Snow. I don't know about him. We say, what are the 3 days to give offerings and tithes throughout the year? Oh, Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles. Yeah, Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles. Go ahead, say Proverbs 23.
When you sit to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before you.
Listen, but not just with a ruler. When you sit down with anybody, you need to consider what they put in front of you. Why?
Put a knife to your throat, it could be a man given to
Hey,
appetite.
man, remember what he told you. If your eye offends you, pluck it out.
That's it.
If you're a man given the appetite, you better kill it. Tell them what appetite means. You giving the appetite?
That is nephesh.
You're a man given to your soul?
And that is, you got activity of the character, activity of the will.
Yeah, man, your desires.
Emotion.
Yeah, you a man given to your soul, to your pleasures. That's why I mentioned that the other night. That's where a lot of people get got, the cares and affairs of this life and the deceitfulness of riches. You care about the wrong stuff. You worry about the wrong thing. That ain't hitting on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Happens real easy. He said, if you're a man that given to that, read again, see verse 2, Proverbs 23.
Put a knife to your throat if you be a man given to appetite.
Mark chapter 9, verse 37.
Whosoever shall receive one of such children in my name, receive me. Whosoever shall receive me, receive not me, but him that sent me.
Come on.
John answered, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in your name, and he followed not us, and we forbade him, because he followed not us.
Go ahead.
Yahweh said, forbid him not. There is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil.
I ain't mean to grab that. I ain't mentioned that to brother, but that's what people probably feel. That's how people feel. If you don't fellowship with me, then who are you? Man, we can't be against the Lord if we all doing the same thing, you big dummy. You know what I'm saying? But then like I told bro when I was talking to him, man, I was like, hey man, you know, if there's difference in the doctrines, you know, the leaders of the congregation can sort that out, brother. I say, do you realize that everybody fundamentally believe the same thing? Y'all niggas be beefing about minutia. Details here. And I ain't even gonna say what people like to say salvific. Y'all niggas be beefing over theology. You know what I'm saying? You niggas will really stay separated from a group of people behind theology. Well, you some goofy. Even in the Acts of the Apostles, they didn't stay separated from each other because of that. You know the main thing when they stay separated from them people ain't want to be fooled up with them strangers. You know what I'm saying? That's why Peter and Paul them had to make the move that they were making. They didn't want to be fooled up with strangers. Outside of that, man, the people wasn't beefing with each other. Oh, you believe Jesus is God? I can't fellowship with you, brother. Now, I was telling somebody the other day, they was like, I see, that's sexist. I said, hey, man, I ain't sitting listening to no one to preach no word, bro. I'm gonna dip. I can't tell you what you gonna do. I'm not gonna sit there and listen to that. Just not. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna walk out, I'm gonna dip. Does that mean there's gotta be some beef for this, that, there, and the third? I just don't want to buy what you're selling, man. I know it's gonna be some grams missing messing with you. I can't get high. Can't get high off what you're selling.
But niggas feel like that's their own forgiveness.
But that wouldn't keep me separated from you. I'm just not gonna sit here and listen to her while she do it. That's it. It ain't gonna be like, oh, I can fool with them. I ain't got no problem with that. The only way I couldn't fool with you is if you try to press upon me to accept it. Because now you being belligerent. I'm cool on that. Because it could be something we do and you be like, I don't agree with that. All right, cool. I'm not gonna sit in there while you, that's fine. I ain't got no problem with it. You say nigga during the service, I don't like it, I ain't coming. Okay. That's fine. That's your choice. Is you gonna come through this such and such we got going on or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna get offended by that. People get offended by that. Well, they don't fool with us. Man, I don't care nothing about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, man. These Hebrew niggas sensitive as hell, man. I ain't never seen a bunch of sensitive broken people in my entire life. Sensitive by everything and anything. I just don't understand why you like this. The niggas beat you up. What the niggas say that they call you ugly because you afraid to smile? What's going on? They ain't call you ugly in school, then. If you did, you probably say you ugly too. See how they work? I get you get what you get. You call me ugly, I'm gonna say your mammy and your daddy ugly. I'm gonna dig up your grandma so we see how ugly she is. I bet you'll leave me alone after that. And then, so they will fight word by then. You tell a nigga gonna dig up a nigga grandma. Come on, see. Mark 9. Verse what, 40?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Say, for he that is not against us is on our part. Whosoever shall give you a cup of water to drink in my name, because you belong to Hamashiach, truly I say unto you, he shall not lose his reward.
Go ahead.
Whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he will be cast into the sea. And if your hand offends you, cut it off. It is better for you to enter into life maimed than having two hands to go into hell, into the fire that shall never be quenched.
But the word
Die not,
and the fire
is not quenched.
What else?
If your foot offends you, cut
Do
it
what
off.
with it?
Cut it off.
Why?
It's better for you to enter halt into life than having 2 feet to be cast into hell.
With the word
Die not,
and the fire.
is not quenched.
What else you need to do?
And if your eye offends you,
What you need to do with it?
pluck it out.
Why?
It is better for you to enter into the kingdom of Elohim with one eye than having 2 eyes to be cast into hellfire.
With the word
Die not,
and the fire.
is not quenched.
Now he telling you, if you be a man given the appetite, cut it off. Proverbs 23:2. You give it over to the desires of your soul, cut them off. That's what got them in trouble in the wilderness. They got caught up in the desires of their soul, so they rose up to eat, drink, and to play. Got in trouble.
Saying, put a knife to your throat if you be a man given to appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties,
Of his dainties.
for they are deceitful meat.
They go, that's boy. Don't be desirous of what the people put in front of you. See, that's what we were talking about when I mentioned it to him about telling my dog Jake about how the people in the upper echelon get niggas to sell out. It's not that they come to you but like, let me get your booty hole. They don't do it like that. That's ineffective. They let you get a taste of the lifestyle. They let you make a couple dollars. They let you come in here and move into this here the way you were part of it. So then when they come and say, hey man, me and Rufus Ruthenstein over here would like some of your butt. Or you can sacrifice a family member. You know what I'm saying? Because really we're talking about, do you believe Kobe Bryant was sacrificed? I hadn't even realized it was 2020 when he died. You know what I'm saying? That's to tell you how the days run together. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying, that people believe that he was sacrificed for the Lakers to win a championship. Now I'm like, I know people get into that. We done discussed it before, so I'm not going to go into great detail. The aspect of, it don't matter if you think or don't think that these people do this. These people do worship the gods of antiquity. Those gods do require blood. Most of these individuals in those particular arenas are worshipers of those deities also. You don't got to be a worshiper of that deity for the worshiper to want to kill you in order to satisfy the God that they worship. You don't have to be a part. You know what I'm saying? I just mentioned because, every time a celebrity dies, it's a sacrifice. So sometimes niggas just die.
Well, you don't have to believe in them gods to be consistent.
Yeah, and you don't have to believe in them God for them to sacrifice you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, it doesn't matter. They believe in them gods. So they're going to perform the rituals to those gods. And then it went into, so people can't be great. And I'm like, you have to be the most naive, goofiest nigga I've ever met in my entire life to be as educated as you claim to be. I'm like, bro, you mean to tell me that these crackers who've been systematically oppressing, murdering, disease infesting you, among other things, is going to allow you to achieve to an echelon of high-level success and look at you and treat you as an equal in an industry that they created for themselves to make sport and wealth off of you? You're an idiot. If you think that these people are going to let you be in that and move with on time. In their platform, with their money, with influence over your people and the populace as a whole. Well, you an idiot, boy. That means you don't even understand power dynamics in the least bit. You ain't fit to speak on nothing as a man. Shut your stupid behind up. I didn't use all them words. My homegirl Reese just kept it short and just said, Jake, shut the F up. Because you sound stupid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she just kept it short. You sound stupid. You know what I'm saying? But he not understanding that. And that's when I mentioned to him about, okay, Jay-Z is a great rapper. You can't take that from him. But when you do a business deal and you know that these people gave you something and you're offering it to your friends knowing that they own it in order to get them to sell something to you, knowing that you don't have the power to give to them what you promised to them, that tells me everything I need to know about your character. They ain't got nothing. And all anybody wanted to focus on was Dame. I didn't mention Dame, other than that he asked him to sell his shares. They don't need to mention Dame. You want to focus on Dame because niggas want to validate homemade niggas. Because he got some money. You thinking like a woman. Then it made me think about what Michael Beasley told Shannon Sharp. The women want the money, we men. You know what I'm saying? See, when you be focused on you just want the money, that's when you do stuff like what this nigga did with Rockefeller. That's when you do that. Because now, nigga, you really a woman, because a woman will do anything for some money. In this society, maybe not in times past, but in this society, they'll do anything for some money. They ain't got no regard because that's the only thing they care for. And the men them started moving like that, and the crackers know it. Because I told them, like I told them before, but do you know how comfortable that white man had to be to handshake Terry Crews' penis in front of people? You like, that's how they get that. Nah, y'all missing the point. That tells you that in that industry, that's how little respect they have for the workers. Because don't get it twisted, the actors are workers. And for you to walk at a public party with an audience and walk up to a 6'5", 260-pound, muscular black man and handshake his penis with no thoughts of physical reprisal, that means majority of these men in here compromise. That's what that tell me.
He loved his job.
And he said that too. And he loved his job, that he was willing to take that level of humiliation. And not, but also, to be fair to him, that's a tough position to be in. No pun intended. The reason being is, and like he said, if you swing on this dude, not only are you going to jail, but your career is over. If you don't swing on this dude, you have to deal with the thought that I should have swung on this dude. And everybody looking at you like, why you ain't swing on this dude?
You could have did something other than that.
Now I will give him the aspect of he could have been genuinely shocked.
No.
He cold, ain't it?
It's like when you speak,
And I know he did call. I know he probably did call us to see because he probably would genuinely listen. When we were hustling, man, I remember my homeboy saying that a smoker hit him with the Menace to Society line, and he was stunned. He didn't know how to respond.
Oh, man, for real.
He said that's what he said. I wasn't there. I didn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? But he said he was stunned. He was shocked. And he didn't know how to respond to that. You know what I'm saying? The same way when I heard that cracker tell my homeboy, hey man, you know, Johnny's a good kid. I couldn't remember that name. I just use, white people. Their kids always be Johnny. You know, Johnny's a good kid, you know. You can hold him, man. Just let me get 100. I was like, damn, you cracker really trying to borrow his son for some right. No, that was my homie. It wasn't my cousin. My cousin would do better than that. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to be like that. I had one lady, she used to get mad because I told her, oh, you pregnant? I'm not going to serve you when you pregnant. And she used to try to send other people to buy the dough. I know she sent you around here. I'm not serving you either. Well, such and such served me. Well, go see him then. I already told you. I'm not serving you while you're pregnant. I don't do that. I don't want your money that bad. This dough gonna sell regardless. I'm not selling it to you. I had a dude I used to serve. He told me, man, I'm trying to quit. Don't serve me. I got you. And he used to cuss me out when I wouldn't serve him. I'm like, but you told me that you didn't want me to serve you. No. Because I didn't care about the money. You were more important to me than the money. What's that $40, $50 gonna do? You came, and this was a black man on top of that. You came and looked at me in the face and said, man, I'm trying to get off dope, man. Don't serve me. Cool. Because one I had to look at it is, you had to believe that I wouldn't serve you for you to ask me not to do it. So I'm going to maintain that confidence you had in me, and I'm not going to serve you. And I did. Now, whether he got it from somebody else, that ain't none of my business, but he wasn't going to get it from me. Now, that's why he say the love of money is the root of all evil. That's why he say that. And that's why Michael Beasley said what he said to Shannon Sharp, because Shannon Sharp was sounding like a woman. I mean, for the money, we men. Nigga, what you talking about? Women care about that. You care. Most niggas only want to get money to impress women. You know what I'm saying? Most of these niggas don't want to get no money to build nothing tangible for their people. And I ain't even talking about for black people as a whole. It's just for your family. And when I say your family, not just your wife and kids, I'm talking about your family, your friends, your other blood relatives, the people you fool with. That ain't what you want no money for. They can want to stunt. That's why they roll them ignorant niggas out there to you. We roll your baby out there. We'll roll your BG out there. Roll your Jay-Z out there. Roll your Meek Mill out there. Nigga, you care about his money so much, nigga, you out here bunny hopping. He probably laughing at you, what? Man, I'd have told that cracker man, screw you in the vagina you came out of, and you can swallow the phalluses of every man standing out here if I bunny hop. Nigga, I'm a man. But I wouldn't agree to no type of wager like that anyway. That tell you everything you need to know about him as a man. Because no man is going to agree. We can make a wager. It ain't no wager where I'm going to be bunny hopping for your amusement. I tell you everything you need to know. Man, these niggas be telling you what type of men they are. And these are the people they run out in front of you. And that's what I was trying to tell him. But they're not going to run no masculine, because he's not going to compromise the way that these niggas are willing to compromise. Because they want that bread. They want a ball. They ain't going to suffer with you for a season. Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
23 and 4.
Go ahead.
Say, labor not to be rich, cease from your own wisdom. Will you set your eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings.
They make themselves what?
Wings.
Hold on, Steve. Yes, sir. He said, I'm sensitive how people just don't have no real chill about themselves. Like they think they do. He said, for real, what is some money to? Yeah, indeed. Yeah, money don't, especially when you understand they debt. No, but that's a whole other conversation. Read it again. He say, labor not to be what?
Labor not to be rich.
Cease from your own what?
Wisdom.
What else?
When you set your eyes upon that which is not, the riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle.
Say, why you set your eyes on that which is nothing? Go ahead.
It said, eat you not the bread of him that have an evil eye, neither desire you his dainty meats.
Don't eat the bread of him that, tell him what an evil eye is. Nigga hit you with an evil eye full of time.
Evil eye is raw, bad or evil.
What you think that means somebody hit you with an evil eye?
Eye is ayin.
No, I'm saying, what y'all think that means somebody hit you with an evil eye? That's one of them. Now, nigga hit you with the evil eye, man. That means within the recesses of their heart, boy, they planting, so they hoping or plotting on some type of destructive deed against you. Come on, sis.
It says, for as he think in his heart, so is he.
That's where that verse go to. And people cut it off. Read verse 6 in front of it again.
Eat you not the bread of him that have an evil eye, neither desire you his dainty meats. For as he think in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to you.
See, listen, read it again. So I wouldn't want to catch it so you can see the context of the verse. But people take that verse and isolate it and make it broad.
It said, eat you not the bread of him that have an evil eye.
Don't eat the bread of him who have an evil eye. That means don't take no gifts, no food from somebody whose eye towards you is evil. Why?
Neither desire you his dainty
Don't
meats.
desire none of the nice stuff he got. Why?
For as he think in his heart,
So as he thinking in his heart,
so is he.
so guess what? As that evil that he thinking in his heart, that's him.
It say, eat and drink, saith he to you, but his heart is not with you.
His heart ain't with you. That's what that verse really means in proper context. But most people like to run to verse 7 and just take that part of the verse and make it be something totally different. See, you thought about this, that, there, and the third. That means that's who you are. Nah, he telling you, hey, man, nigga who got an evil eye, don't take nothing from it now. Because as he think in his heart, that's who he is. His heart's, I man, don't fool with you. You know what I'm saying? He don't fool with you. Case in point, this is an example of what Saul tried to do to David. Tried to get David with some dainty meats, didn't he? But his heart wasn't with him. Remember the seat sitting down when they were sitting down at the new moon? Then he threw doggone axe at the man. Heart wasn't with him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And of course, there's verses that you could isolate singularly if you wanted to make a overarching point. But the context of the passage is also important too, so that people don't take a verse and beat you down to make you feel like you X, Y, Z. Because that passage is really dealing with people who don't fool with you. And the way that they feel about you, that's who they is. Because they don't fool with you. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, what passage this referred to, even though he didn't offer the dainty meat? That's what Judas wore. His heart wasn't with him while he was sitting down eating with him. And as he thought in his heart, so was he. Because who entered into his heart? Satan. That's what it said in John 13, then. So you have to look at it in the aspect of that's dealing with interpersonal dynamics. They be around you, but they don't really fool with you. Kind of like what I was telling y'all to a certain extent. And I ain't gonna say it's overarching because I'm not gonna sit here and act like that the crew as a whole is just overwhelmingly known. You know what I'm saying? Because that's borderline narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? But to a point, like niggas know who Trav is, and they might sit in his face, but they don't fool with bro like that. Niggas may know who Ishi is, and they might sit in his face, but they don't fool with him like that. Some of these dudes know who I am as far as moving this work, but they don't fool with me like that. People know, some of them dudes know who Will is with the music and the code, but they ain't gonna sit down and they don't fool with him like that. Because we not in their circles and we don't, you know what I'm saying, toss salads and, you know, smoke Peters and things of this nature. Because that's what a lot of them dudes want you to do, is kid they behind and compromise and chase behind them. And they'll, hey, brother, shalom. In reality, they eye evil towards you. They heart not really with you because they don't really fool with you like that. And they really offering you stuff so that they can be able to get you in the tentacles of the spirit they influence so that eventually they can destroy you. So you have to pay attention to that. That's why he say don't get caught up in flattery of words, things of that nature, because they words are smooth as oil, but it's boring they hard though. Because the people don't fool with you like that. And a lot of times people try to use money as a means to grease you up for that because they don't fool with you like that. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And you got to take note of that. Because listen, right? I ain't saying this like, okay, like, we may not be the most well-known group of people, but niggas know at the same time, and they don't fool with us. Now, I could give you many a theory of why they don't fool with us. But that would take us off why we here, so we're not going to do it. Epistle of Hebrews 5 and 7. Big one with you.
Who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him, that was able to save him from death, and was heard and that he feared. Though he were a son, yet learned he did obedience by the things which he suffered.
Dang, I missed that, Omar. What Matthew 5 and 28 to the scenario you were talking about? Because my back hurt and I ain't get up. What Matthew 5 and 28 say?
That's you think on a man's wife is murder, you an adulterer.
Yeah, oh, okay, yeah. Not necessarily because it was a concubine, but necessarily because it's covenant. But also, they didn't come there coveting his concubine. They came there wanting a man's butt. So that would be lasciviousness and uncleanliness. You know what I'm saying? If you would look at a violation per the things that he say come out of a man and defile. You know what I mean? So yeah, that would be uncleanliness and lasciviousness. Because they didn't come there for the wife. The father put the concubine out there because he said, don't do that, father. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. He said, don't do such a thing like that, brother. I couldn't imagine somebody knocking on my door and be like, hey, man, that was a handsome guy that just came in your house. Send him out here so we can have sex with him. Nigga, what? I ain't gonna lie, man. Did y'all see what y'all know who Enos Cantor is?
That was real?
That was for real.
Yeah, the man works on his set.
Enos Cantor played in the NBA.
I know who he is, but
Yeah, he was for real. Now, I don't know if he was being satirical
yeah, I thought
and doing that. He came out and said he was declaring for the WNBA draft. He was doing this because a basketball player by the name of Sophie Cunningham say she is not with trannies playing in the WNBA. So she got ridiculed, and a few WNBA players and coaches came out and say that this is not a sports issue, this is a human rights issue. We support all transformers, transvestites, and homemade niggas to come join our league and play basketball with us. So you hoes want to play with dudes.
I thought he was trying to be funny.
He might have been as a means to ridicule them for their stance.
But yeah, that's what it was. They're trying to prove the point.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
That's why I say he might have been being satirical. You know what I'm saying?
That they really like
Same.
Yeah. 6'10" former NBA player. You say, I just ain't transitioned yet.
that's why
You know what I'm saying?
no picture of him being gay.
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
never heard of him being gay.
He was saying based on the criteria that they require.
He meets
I meet these requirements, so I'm declaring. You know what I'm saying? I showing them the flaws in their ways.
That's why the hoes been coming out to we should call it the NBA. Shut up. Because some of the women on the internet who are rage baiting want to call it the Men's National Basketball Association, since the WNBA is called the Women's National Basketball Association. What they don't know is that anybody can play in the NBA. It's just not isolated to women. It's just no woman has ever been good enough to make someone's roster. Some women have tried out before. Matter of fact, all men's professional sports leagues are open to anyone who can play them. If a woman was good enough to play professional football, she could make make an NFL team's roster and play them. If there was a woman good enough to play for the New York Yankees, she could play for the New York Yankees. It's never happened because they're not good enough.
I'm thinking about Raw.
There's no woman that could last on an NBA basketball. The men are too strong, they too fast, they too big. There's nothing that she's going to be able to do. There's no disrespect to her, just is what it is.
But it's been women on the coaching staff though.
Now, they do have women on NBA and NFL coaching staff.
I'm just saying, you probably stick around.
Yeah, I mean, but neither one of those leagues, there's no quote unquote,
Gotta take a win.
listen, there's no quote unquote male league that has ever had any open prohibition against women coaching and or playing. That's just regular women thinking that they can't play because they've never seen it. There's a couple women who played on college football teams, but they played kicker though. Because ain't no woman can play running back. It's grown men can't play running back. Ain't nobody in here finna play running back. Because when a nigga like Ray Lewis in that A gap waiting on you, you would be like, why did I come out here? Or you, a woman, you playing middle linebacker. I can't use him because he's not a bruiser. You know what I'm saying? You see John Riggins, because people say Derrick Henry because he ain't no bruiser. He's not though, and he'll tell you that. That's why a lot of NFL players, oh, you talking about me and him one-on-one in the hole? I got it. Because he's not a doggone, he runs like Eric Dickerson, so he's not gonna run you over. Yeah, that's like seeing Marshawn in that A gap, and you the middle linebacker. Baby, you done. You done. You done. That's a man. So much determination, bro. Marshawn Lynch was only 5'10", bro. The man about 245. Even Jerome Bettis wasn't that big. He was only 6 feet tall. He was about 260 pounds. Baby, what you go? But before you get to him, you got to deal with this 6'4", 325-pound guard. Now you around here sounding like guard. Yeah, baby, you don't want nothing to do with that. Imagine a woman talking about, I'm finna guard Shaq in the post. This is a 300-pound man. Grown men can't guard this man. Here you go, talking about you finna stand here and take a charge. Here comes LeBron James. He's 265 pounds. And fast. Coming downhill. Ain't nobody in his way. Oh, you're done.
Grown men step aside.
Grown men get out the way. You seen grown men, Olay. Nigga look like this, whoa. Out the way. What I'm talking about? Come on, man. Oh, you don't know about that Olay defense? James Harden been playing it for decades.
Man, boy. Oh, man.
Out the way. Get out the way. That's a grown man. Bro, that's a grown man, boy. Listen. See, niggas don't be want to say certain stuff because you be worrying about signing. Hey, what grown men out there, boy? That's a large dude. You talking about somebody 6'5", 245 pounds, he running 4.40. And he coming looking for you, nigga. What you gonna do with him? Yeah, what you gonna do with him, man? That's like a woman say she wanna box Mike Tyson. Cause you had Clarissa Shields talking about she could beat Andre Ward. Come on, man, they gonna knock your period on. One body blow, you on your cycle. You want it's grown men don't want to fight these men. Cause everybody was like, I'll fight anything. Listen, I've seen men get punched so hard, nigga apologize. They said, my bad, bro. I shouldn't even said that. Listen, I seen men get the fight knocked out of them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got it. I stood in the paint like a man. That nigga punched hard. I acquiesce. I concede. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say in an election. You concede the election. I concede, bro. You got it. I shouldn't even came at you like that. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? My bad. You know what I'm saying? But you had the heart to fight, but then he showed you. Hey man, boy, some people out here, boy, they got concrete blocks for hands, boy. That man just box you like Donkey Kong, man. You done thought about it. You know what? Nah, bro. Nah, it's okay. Some niggas gonna keep on going and let that man pummel them. And some people be like, you know what? It's just better for me to apologize, brother. Shake your hand. You was a better man today. Come on, you move out there.
Say who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications, and
Tenfold.
crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard in that he feared.
Mm-hmm.
Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him.
Listen, you learned obedience from the things that he suffered. That's what that straight gate is about. Like I said. And even still, right, we mentioned the other ones. You gotta worry about it. What was that for? Job 17. We've established the debt. Read it again. 17:1.
My breath is corrupt, my days are extinct, the graves are ready for me.
The what are ready for you?
The graves are ready for me.
What up?
Are there not mockers with me? Do not my eye continue in their provocation? Lay down now, put me in a surety with you.
What? Was there not mockers with it? Because they was mocking him, man. If you be the son of God, come down off that tree. He said, that, what's with him, no sin? What's
Say, are
that?
there not mockers with me? And do not my eye continue in their provocation? Lay down now, put me in a surety with you.
Give him surety.
That is arah, to pledge, to exchange, mortgage, to engage, to occupy, to undertake for.
Now listen, what y'all think that relate to? Read it again.
Lay down now, put me in a surety with you. Who is he that will strike hands with me? You have hid their heart from understanding, therefore shall you not exalt them.
No, back up.
Say, are there not mockers with me? Do not my eye continue in their provocation? Lay down now, put me in a surety with you.
What you think this means? Put me in a surety with you, in a mortgage, in a pledge. Yeah. And I meant to read that in Romans 6 about everyone who was baptized into his death. But if you that go back to what we were talking about, that he became the pledge. He became the surety for the dead. Hold on. And like I said, that go back to referencing the what you call it, the bail bonds. Go to Proverbs 11:15. We'll run them all down real quick, like with the surety, make it plain.
He that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it. He that hate suretyship is sure.
Give them what suretyship is, man.
That is to cob, to blow, clap, strike, sound, thrust, to give a blow, to blast, to strike or pledge oneself.
He said, he that hate pledging oneself is sure. What it is to be sure?
That is patak, to trust, to be bold, to be secure, to have confidence.
So he that hate to pledge oneself will have confidence, but he that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it. What smart mean?
You got ruah, to shout, to raise a sound, to cry out, to give a blast. Then you had ra'ah. You got bad or evil, sad, unhappy,
What you
unkind.
think this means? He that is a surety for a stranger shall smart for it. And again, I'm gonna read this out loud again, right? You got surety, right? Arah, one that is pledged or exchanged or mortgaged himself.
You gonna cry out to be released from them?
Now, then we say, he that is a pledge or a mortgage for a stranger shall smart for it. Now, in this instance, I would say the definition that we would look at would be broken in pieces or broken asunder. Now, if you recall in John, he said he came into his own and his own received him not. So in essence, he was a stranger to them. Why? Because he said, Kadash Abba, the world have not known you. They haven't known me, because if they known me, they would have seen you when they seen me. So because he became a pledge for them, he was broken into pieces. Then he said, he that hates suretyship is sure. Well, what's suretyship again, man? So that's, of course, that's a different word. Look at all of them here. He pledged oneself. Let me see if they got Sine for hate that, man. And they do. They say one hating, an enemy of persons, a hater, to be hated. An enemy or a foe, or odious, or utterly. What's the next one? Why you thinking on that, man? What you think that last part means, Sylvia? If you hate suretyship, you'll be trusted. If you hate the pledge. Because now it's gonna change. Because what I said suretyship means, you got to
You got the pledge, suretyship is the pledge oneself.
Now, the pledge oneself, that's going to take us back to something that we talked about at the beginning. Little Johnny, what was the first thing we discussed when the stream froze? You remember what the first point we were talking about when the stream froze? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? In that aspect, right? And what was the totality of it? That when you sell yourself into debt, you pledged yourself and you hate it. I can say you hate it. Because I'm thinking about the verse in the gospel that I want to use. Go to Matthew 16:20.
Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Yahushua HaMashiach. From that time forth began Yahushua to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and be raised again the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from you, Lord.
I know I'm high up on it, but it's okay. Go ahead.
This shall not be unto you. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get you behind me, Hashatan, you are an offense unto me, for you savor not the things that be of Elohim, but those that be of men. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his stake and follow me.
Right.
For whosoever will save his life shall lose it.
And
Whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it.
see, if you hate suretyship in this instance, then you can have trust. Because that suretyship on that second half of that verse, well, that's you giving yourself over to sin. So if you hate your life, you'll be willing to lose it. You can have trust in God. But if you love your life, you still gonna go to hell, and you're not gonna trust God. It ain't no way, because you pledging yours. Or it goes into to whom you yield your member service to obey is to whom you obey. I think you walked down here the passage in the Proverbs 23, right? We were looking at where we're dealing with when it says a man thinketh, so he is. But it was dealing with the nigga who sit down, eat with you, and he don't fool with you. See, a lot of people sit down and make a suretyship with Satan, sitting down with him, pledging yourself to him, and he don't fool with you. And he look at you with a real evil eye. Because the same way we can read that in Luke when he said, see, look at all this stuff I'll give you if you just bow down and worship me. That's why I say don't be desirous of his dainty meat. That's why you ain't never supposed to make no choices or decisions based off what you desire. Or what you desire could take you straight to hell, because you don't even know if the devil offering. And if you think God always offering you what you desire, you's a fool. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at this text, God don't ever offer nobody nothing. To be 100% honest with you, he offered you an opportunity to do what? To have fellowship with him. He don't offer you no desire. Huh? That might be true, but it be tricky. That sounds like the law. Well, y'all need to make sure them niggas enough much. Hey, don't come in here with all that noise. Get somewhere and sit down. No, he probably tired. He get like that when he's tired. Come on. You don't know how to contain yourself. You get emotional. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. What you got to say?
Just read Matthew 16:25.
Go ahead.
Said, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it. Whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it.
Go ahead.
He said, for what is a man profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? And what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
Pause. You see how they get, what does give in exchange by definition?
And talagma, that which is given in place of another thing by way of exchange, what is given either in order to keep or to acquire anything.
Let me ask you a question, Lieutenant. That sounds
Or
like
as a ransom.
a mortgage or a pledge to you? Go back and read what that was in Proverbs. That was 11:15.
He that is a surety for a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hates suretyship is sure.
You see how that worked for that? See, if you hate suretyship, you can be sure. Give them sure by definition one more time.
You got the talk, to trust, to have confidence, to be confident, to be bold, to be secure, to feel safe.
Now read Proverbs 28:1 real quick.
The wicked flee when no man pursue, but the righteous are bold as a lion.
Now we want to deal with the second half of that. The righteous are what?
Bold as a lion.
Tell them what bold means.
That's the talk.
And that's to have confidence. So when you hate suretyship or pledging or rent, go ahead and give them the epistle to the Romans 6:11.
Likewise, reckon you also yourselves to be dead indeed unto sin, but alive unto Elohim through Yahshua Mashiach our Lord. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that you should obey it in the lust thereof. Neither yield you your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto Elohim as those that are alive from the dead.
Alive from the what?
Alive from the dead.
See, if you hate suretyship, you can be alive from the dead. Now, all these things we discussing with the suretyship, with the ransoming, all of this is still getting back to that one major point, that his love is enough. His love is enough. Now, in context of 2 Corinthians 12, he's telling you his love is enough in the midst of infirmities, whether they be necessities, distresses, so on and so forth. We taking it to the overarching point overall, that his love is enough in a multitude of different situations and circumstances. Continue.
He said, "In your members as instruments of righteousness unto Elohim, for sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under the law, but under grace. What then, shall we sin because we are not under the law, but
God
under grace?
forbid.
Know you not that to whom you yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants you are to whom you obey, whether of sin unto death, or of obedience unto righteousness?"
Now you see who that is? Whatever you lend yourself to be a surety for, that's what you're gonna obey. Or the borrower is a servant to the lender. Because if your lender is Mashiach, then you're gonna be a servant to him. If your lender is your flesh or the adversary, then you're gonna be a servant to him. What was that? Back to Job 17, so we holding anything up? All right.
Verse 3.
Job 17:3.
Say, "Lay down now, put me in a surety with you. Who is he that will strike hands with me?"
Notice he say, lay down what?
Lay down
And I'll
now,
be in the what?
surety with you.
So Romans 6:1.
What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Elohim forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Know you not that so many of us as were baptized in the Yahushua Mashiach were baptized into his death?
What else?
Therefore we are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as the Mashiach was raised up from the dead by the esteem of the Abba, even so we also shall walk in newness of life.
Go back to Job 17:3.
Lay down now, put me in a surety with you. Who is he that will strike hands with me?
Tell them what strike.
That is to to blow, clap, strike, sound,
So
thrust.
who gonna hit you if I make a pledge with you? Give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 3.
We are bound to thank Elohim always for you, brethren, as it is meet, because that your faith grow exceedingly, and the love of every one of you, all toward each other abound, so that we ourselves esteeming you in the assemblies of Elohim for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that you endure, which is a manifest token of the righteous judgment of Elohim, that you may be counted worthy of the kingdom of Elohim, for which you also suffer. Seeing it is a righteous thing with Elohim, to
That he do what?
recompense tribulation to them
To those
that trouble you,
That's why I say, make me a surety with you. Who gonna strike hands with you? Go ahead.
and to you who are troubled, rest with us, when the Lord Yahushua shall be revealed from Shamayim with his mighty Malachim, and flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not Elohim, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord, and from the esteem of his power.
That's good. Go back to Job.
Verse 3, lay down now, put me in a surety with you. Who is he that will strike hands with me? For you have hid their heart from understanding, therefore shall you not exalt them. He that speaks flattery
Hold on, run that verse again.
for you have hid their heart from understanding, therefore shall you not exalt them.
He's hid their heart from understanding, but they might not be exalted. Now, go to Matthew 13. and 11.
He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Shamayim, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he had. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing you shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing you shall see and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross,
And there,
ears are dull of hearing,
yes, they.
their eyes have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them.
Go back to Job 17. Go back to Job 17.
For you have hid their heart from understanding, therefore shall you not exalt them.
So, when you without understanding, you were there what, Sid?
Death,
So he will not do what?
exalt them.
Give him exalt.
That is room to rise up, to be
Let's go to
high.
Proverbs 4:4.
He taught me also and said unto me, let your heart retain my words, keep my commandments and live. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of our mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve you. Love her, she shall keep you. Wisdom is the principal thing.
Therefore,
Get wisdom.
what else?
With all you're getting, get understanding.
What else?
Exalt her, she shall promote you.
She'll do what?
Exalt her, she shall promote you.
Tell him what promote me.
That is room again.
So you see how that worked? Go back to Job 17. Where the understanding come from? We know that the son of Elohim is come to give us an understanding. That we might know him that is true, that we're in him that is true. Even your son, Yahushua HaMashiach, this is the true Elohim and eternal life. Job 17:3, one more time.
Lay down now, put me in a surety with you. Who is he that will strike hands with me? For you have hid their heart from understanding, therefore shall you not exalt them. He that speaks flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children shall fail. He hath made me.
Stop for a second. Hold. Read that for me again.
Said, he that speaks flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children shall fail.
He hit high pitch. No, I think it was Muhammad. I had to just ascertain was it her, him, or Joanne, because their cries sound the same. He get that loud, he actually have to cock his chin to make it go through. Sometimes he just gonna lay down and go through. That room is called sleep. Go ahead.
He that speaks flattery to his friends.
Who is this? Now, read the next part.
Say, even the eyes of his children shall fail.
Now, what that relate to, because that's tying to another passage, and it ain't in the gospel though, but it's by Judas though. Amen. Put your shoes back on your feet, huh? Go to Psalms 109. Psalms 109 and 6. When we look around, get that water out of here. Take it in the kitchen. I'm back.
Say, set you a wicked man over him, and let Hashatan stand at his right hand. When he shall be judged, let him be condemned. Let his prayer become sin. Let his days be few. Let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and a wife a widow.
There it is. Let his children be what?
Let his children be
Go
fatherless.
back to Job 17, what he said about him who speaks flattery to his friends.
He that speaks, verse 5. He that speaks flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children shall fail.
They're going to face.
He hath made me also a byword of the people, and aforetime I was as a tabret.
Listen, you know that's if you be the son of God, come down off the tree. But come on.
My eye also was dimmed by reason of sorrow. All my members are as a shadow.
All his members as a what?
Are as a shadow.
Tell them shadow. Sit up straight.
That is cell, a shadow, or shade.
Sit up straight.
You got shade as protection, or you got shadow symbolic of transistoriness of life, or defense.
Y'all know what it means to be transistory? Give them the definition of transistory. You know what that means, Doris? So you ain't a wordsmith. Put the baby down. You can try to be for the last. Like, I need a better belt than the one. when I got visiting in law sometimes. Have one baby, get married, think you're grown. You're not grown.
That means lasting for only a short time. Describe something temporary, fleeting, or not permanent.
Not permanent. Go back and read the definition for that word again.
That is settle, shadow, shade. Got shade as protection or shadow, symbolic of transitoriness of life.
So that means life is temporary. Now I want you to read the passage again. I want you to hear all the definitions so that when you hear the context of the verse, you select the definition based off the context of the verse. See, a lot of people will look up words in the interlinear or concordances, and they're going to pick the definition that they want to suit whatever point you're trying to make. That is something that we do not do. We will not do. If a word has multiple definitions, you have to look for the definition that fits the context of the passage. Like what that was, we just looking at with if you hate stewardship, right? You know what I'm saying? You have to look at that if the context was being communicated. So if you hate to be a pledge, then you can have trust. If you hate being a pledge, well, how do you pledge yourself? Because you borrowing stuff. It makes you a pledge for a debt. You know, in the United States, say, okay, case in point, right? This is something that I learned later after the fact. Some of y'all know that they're because of the merchant cash advances people. Because they always hit you up because they're not giving you a loan. You know about a merchant cash advance loan? What that means? A merchant cash advance. No, I said I'm not being funny because they're different from what you think about. See, a merchant cash advance is a company that, see, they'll call you and say, hey, we got $15,000 worth of capital for your business. But they're going to frame it like it's a loan. But a loan is different from a merchant cash advance. A merchant cash advance is that they're actually purchasing your accounts receivables. You know what I'm saying? So they saying, okay, if I'm going to give you 15K, I'm buying 15K of future revenue. But what they do when you sign this here is, now most of them do it in regular loans too. More so personal loans, maybe not business loans. They'll have you be a personal guarantee. See, you can really sign it, you're really supposed to sign it and say you're an authorized representative of the company and they can't come from you personally. You know what I'm saying? See, but this is something that a lady I know mentioned this, because you know, black people want to be known that they own everything. You only feel like that because you know, you've been a slave, you know, been oppressed. Yeah, see, and that's really, see, they tell you that, but they're not telling us why it's like that. It's to minimize your liability. See, they don't take that part because they'll throw it out there, but they don't tell you really why they don't want their name on nothing. If your name ain't on nothing, no one can sue you. They can't come for your stuff. See, if you get a merchant cash advance or a business loan, and see, this is what these people don't tell you. Like, if you have a business and you get an actual business loan, like from a financial institution, and you said that I'm the authorized representative, the business took the loan. So let's say the business defaulted, went out of business, they can't sue him. They can only sue the business, a fictitious entity. But if you sign it and say, I'm going to personally guarantee this loan for this business, if the business fails, it don't matter, they can come for you. You know what I'm saying? And take your cars and take your houses and freeze your bank accounts. Now, most merchant cash advances can't free your bank accounts. They can only free merchant accounts. No, they can't homestead protect your house. Yeah, if you own a house and you got a homestead on it, they can't take it. Can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm only mentioning that because these are things of being a rob, a surety, a mortgage, a pledge. Because when you make yourself a personal guarantee, you making a pledge that I will pay the debt. So when we take the verses that we looking at, Yahushua is the one that come in and said, I will pay the debt. Because you can't come in and pay the debt. Well, we read in Psalms 49, say, but you can't pay the debt, can you? Yeah, he paid the debt. This is why his love is enough. Think about it, right? We're dealing with Paul saying, hey, previously this man came to me, opened my eyes, say, I want you to know the way of the just one so you can know his will, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? I've paid that debt. So if I paid that debt, my grace is enough for you. When you dealing with infirmities, when you dealing with, go to verse 9 of 2 Corinthians 12 of the things that he said he would deal with. I just want you to understand what it really means, like in a real world way, along with the word about, pledge for a debt. Because see, most of them companies won't tell you that. Most people don't even teach people that who start a business, like, hey man, you get a loan, bro. You don't personally guarantee that business loan. You say I'm an authorized representative of the company, but I'm not personally guaranteeing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody gonna tell you that except for people who it's very few people gonna tell you that part. Because the bank people damn sure ain't gonna tell you that part. And the people who call you Alpha and Capital damn sure ain't gonna tell you that part. Yeah, you'll never personally guarantee no goddamn loan for nothing. Not no business anyway, that's retarded. You know what I'm saying? Why would you create a fictitious entity and then turn around and personally guarantee any debt for that fictitious entity? What is a fictitious entity? Fictitious entity means that in reality, it's a actual corporation, but it doesn't exist because real people aren't a part of it. So what does that mean? So let's take Titan Sports LLC. Do you know what Titan Sports LLC is? Titan Sports LLC is the actual corporation that owns WWE. That's the actual LLC that owns Titan Sports. Titan Sports, as forth as flesh and blood people, does not exist. It only exists on paper. Even though it is made up of flesh and blood people who may be, shareholders, directors of the board. Well, I can't say Titan Sports, it's TKO. You know what I'm saying? TKO Group Holdings. You know what I'm saying? TKO Group Holdings owns the World Wrestling Entertainment.
So that's not fair.
Huh?
So that's not fair.
It's not that it's all fake. What it is you have common law and you have corporate law, or what we would also refer to as maritime law. Corporate law deals with businesses. Businesses are not flesh and blood and breathing entities. See, you are a natural person. You are alive. A corporation is made up of a conglomerate of flesh and blood people, but the corporation itself is only on paper. So that's what they call a fictitious entity. Legally, you know what I'm saying? So if you own said corporation and you was to take out any type of debt for said corporation, you as a flesh and blood person do not personally guarantee the payment of that debt. I'm authorized to represent said corporations in these matters. That's how you protect yourself from being sued. So if the loan default, they can only come for TKO Group. They can't come for Doris. You know what I'm saying? I can't hear you.
You said a question about the lucky.
No, this is saying a real person. See, because you have certain types of businesses, right, Chris? And you have something called a sole proprietor, which means that you're the business owner as an actual person. And then you have limited liability companies, and then you have corporations. And what they are is they're business entities on paper, but they're not an actual person. But the corporation or LLC is made up of actual people. Does that make sense to you? You know what I'm saying? Anybody ever told you that Doris, they don't ever personally guarantee no business loan? Anybody ever tell you never to personally guarantee no business loan? Personally guaranteed. See, let's just say you went to Wells Fargo. You say, hey, I want to get a $50,000 loan for my business. They're going to put in that if the business defaults on the loan, that you're going to assume responsibility for the debt. You're not supposed to do that if you were LLC or a corporation. You're supposed to come in and write on there, no, I, such and such, am the authorized representative of I Clean You Niggas Houses Incorporated. So if I Clean You Niggas Houses go bankrupt, they can't come for you. They got to go for the company. Hey, ain't nothing there to get. If not, they can come take your house, your car, you know what I'm saying, and all that. Now you know what ends up happening? You living in the van down by the river. Oh, you don't know that. You don't know that? You don't know Chris Farley? I didn't do nothing. You don't know who Chris Farley is? That's not a singer. Tommy Boy? It was on Saturday Night Live. Chris Farley has got to be one of the funniest white men I've ever seen. You ain't never seen Tommy Boy? You know who David Spade is? Come on, Sue.
2 Corinthians 12:9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather receive in my infirmities that the power of Mashiach may rest
Sit up
upon me.
straight. Sit up straight.
Therefore, I take
That's not a
pleasure.
request, sir. Go ahead.
Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, and reproaches, and necessities,
So in
persecutions,
weaknesses, and being dishonored, and being persecuted.
and distresses for Mashiach's sake. For when I am
Now
weak,
notice it said distresses, and what did we read in 2 Samuel 22, said who came to the justice of the people?
all those that were in distress,
And what else? Discontented and in debt. And that's just showing you that, hey, and they made him what? Captain over them. His love is enough. Back to Job 17.
verse
Hey,
6.
hey, hold on, listen, man. If you can't sit up straight, you can get out. But if you get out, I'm gonna make sure whoever on the other side of that door, that they got some work for you. So that's your option. You can unball your face. You can sit up like a man, and you can pay attention to what's being said. And if that doesn't satisfy you, then you can leave. Stop slouching and sit up straight, son. Eugene, sit up straight. You slouching. You know how I know you slouching? Because your head leaning over here. Sit up like a man and pay attention, son. Now again, you have an option. You don't gotta sit in here. You can go on the other side of that black door. But if you go on the other side of that door, I'm gonna ask them to find something for you to do. But you're not gonna be hanging out, lounging. That's not what we're doing. You cool? That cool with you? I asked you a question, so that necessitates that you respond. Man, say it with your chest. You understand that, Bird? All right then. Y'all acting like ain't holding your hostage, man. You ain't got to sit in here. But if you're gonna sit in here, you're gonna conduct yourself like a man, like a young man. Go ahead.
Verse 5. It said, he that speak flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children shall fail. He hath made me also a byword of the people. In aforetime I was as a tabret. My eye also is dim by reason of sorrow. All my members are as a shadow.
There we go. Now, if all his members are as a shadow, and we know we can read in Romans 12, 1 Corinthians 12, about his members. What does it say about his members in Romans 12 in a synopsis, man? Just a brief synopsis, man. Just a brief summary. What it say in there, little Johnny, about the members in Romans 12, man? You know what it say? Just a brief summary, man. You got to be detailed. They do. They do say it. You gonna help him out here? Give him verse 4. Pistol to the room. Chapter 12. Because if all his members are a shadow or a protection, so he's telling you that his body are a shadow of protection for each other. That goes back to the point I was telling you about. How can all us, now again, I say our perspective of the word may be different from others, and you have to know that and not get frustrated. I told you, like, I tell somebody something, and then I'm answering a question that I know you're going to ask before you ask it. And then even with you asking it, it's like, my God, today. But I know that you just engineered a particular type of way that you have to ask it. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
For as we have many members in one body, all members have not the same office.
Mm-hmm.
So we being many are one body in the Mashiach,
Mhm.
and every one member is one of another. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us. For the prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith. For ministry, let us wait on our ministering. For he that teach, on teaching. For he that exhort, on exhortation. He that gives, let him do it with simplicity. He that rule, with diligence. He that show mercy, with cheerfulness. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good.
What up?
Be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another.
Be kindly affectioned with what?
One to another with brotherly love
What up?
and honor, preferring one another.
What up?
Not slothful in business,
What up?
fervent in ruach, serving the Lord.
Stop. Go back to shadow. Read the definition again. Were you tired, what? Huh? Come here, man. Yeah, you. I'm showing you. I'm not gonna do nothing. Come here, man. Fix your shirt, man. Fix your clothes. You tired, man? What I'm saying, you just, all you had to say is, I'm tired. If you're tired, you need to go back there and lay down. But if you don't go back there and lay down and you're doing something else, then you're gonna have a problem. If you're tired, go back there and lay down. No, you just can't lay down in here. If you're tired, go lay down on the other side of that door. Go ahead.
That is cell, a shadow, or shade. Shade as protection, or a shadow symbolic of transitoriness of life.
Or we can also look at it as all his members are temporary in this life. What does it say in Psalms 82, man? About verse 6, man. Ye are what? But he said, what he said what's gonna happen to you? Die like men. You know what I'm saying? So even in that, though his members have a temporary aspect, we know that, hey man, he that believeth in the Son will never taste death. But all his members are temporary. Or like we read, you know, hey, it was sown in weakness, it was raised in power. Because your breath is corrupt. There's a pledge. But thanks be to your Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, that pledge was paid for. Come back to Job 17.
Verse 7 said, my eye also is dim by reason of sorrow. All my members are as a shadow. Upright men shall be astonished at this. The innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite.
Now, when you look at the innocent stirring themselves up against the hypocrite, man, that's Yahushua coming to see them people, man. Go ahead.
Said the righteous also shall hold on his way.
And
He that hath clean hands
will
shall
get
be stronger and stronger.
stronger and stronger.
But as for you all, do you return and come down? For I cannot find one wise man among you. My days are past, my purposes are broken off.
Broken.
Even the thoughts of my heart, they change the night into day. The light is short because of darkness.
Light is short because of what?
Because of darkness.
That's the last person.
You got four more verses.
Go ahead.
They say, if I wait, the grave is in my house.
If you wait.
If I wait, the grave is my house. I have made my bed in the darkness. I have said to corruption, you are my father.
You are my what?
You are my father. To the warm, you are my mother and my sister.
Tell them what corruption is.
That is shakab, pit, destruction, or grave.
Read that verse again.
I have said to corruption, you are my father.
Now listen to what he said, man. He said to the grave, you are my father. What that take you to? What comes to your mind? He said, the grave is my father. What comes to your mind? Indeed. Indeed it is. Give him the definition of worm, excuse me, civic. Yeah.
That is Ramah, maggot, worm, as the cause and sign of decay.
Which is corruption. So read the passage again.
They say, I have said to corruption, you are my father, and to the worm, you are my mother and my sister.
So this goes back to why I even came here. I just was gonna read the whole chapter because we really only needed this verse in the first one. You know what I'm saying? Now he's calling the grave his father. And the maggot that eats your flesh, his mother. While telling you that his breath is corrupt. Read verse 1 again.
My breath is corrupt. My days are extinct. The graves are ready for me.
Tell him what extinct means. Say the grave ready for you.
That is za'ak, to extinguish, to be extinct.
Now read what that was, verse 14 you was in. Read it again.
I have said to corruption, you are my father.
So now he's telling you, I'm getting, because man is born to what? To die. Read that, what that is. Hebrews 9:27.
And as it is appointed unto men once to die,
Now, that's where your dilemma come in at. Now, he told you, my grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in weaknesses. Where Paul say, I will delight in said infirmity. I'll take pleasure in them. Now, give me Isaiah chapter 1, verse 10. Michael, tell me what time it is on that clock. Not the clock, but the running time of the video. Top right-hand corner.
The top right hand corner.
Yeah. You should see a running time.
Don't see it. Oh, 2 hours.
Go.
says, hear the word of Yahuwah, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of Elohim, people of Gomorrah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith Yahuwah? I am full of the burnt offerings of rams, the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of he-goats. When you come to appear before me, who have required this at your hand to tread my courts? Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me.
I might have had it in the wrong spot. Go to verse 5.
Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more.
The whole head is what?
Is sick, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, no soundness in it. Wounds and bruises, putrefying sores.
Putrefying.
They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your country is desolate, your cities burned with fire, your land strangers devoured in your presence. It is desolate as overthrown by strangers. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge, in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Except Yahuwah of hosts had left unto us.
It should be like what?
A very small remnant. We should have been at Sodom.
And Gomorrah. Go ahead.
Hear the word of Yahuwah, you rulers of Sodom.
What did he say?
Give ear unto the law of Elohim, people of Gomorrah.
What did he say?
To what purpose is the multitude of your
That's
sacrifices
good.
unto me?
But I mentioned that because if you have all these wounds and sores, that means you would you'd be pretty weak now, wouldn't you? Now he's referencing these things pertaining to the sins of the people at that particular time. So that's where you look at your breath is corrupt and your father is the grave. Because read 1 Corinthians 15 to 22.
For as in Adam all die, even so in Mashiach shall all be made alive.
So that your father is the grave. Where you going? Keep on back and finish Job 17 when we get out of here.
Verse 14, I have said to corruption, you are my father. To the worm, you are my mother and my sister. And where is now my hope? As for my hope, who shall see it?
Where is my what?
Where is now my hope?
And who gonna what?
Who shall see it?
Go ahead.
They shall go down to the bars of the pit, when our rest together is in the dust.
They gonna go down where?
To the bars of the pit,
And they gonna what?
when our rest together is in the dust.
What you think about that, City? What that tell you? Lil Johnny, what that tell you? What y'all think them last two verses communicating to you? Read the second to last verse one more time.
It said, where is now my hope?
Where is your hope?
It said, that's my hope.
Is that Batak or Tikva? Which one is it?
This one is tikva, hope, expectation, your ground of hope.
Where's my expectation? Read it from the top. Read it, but the definition of the word instead of saying, "Oh, where's my what?"
So where is now my expectation? As for my expectation, who shall see it?
Who gonna see my expectation? What does it tell you in Romans chapter 8? We hope for it. For if that what you can see, why would you hope for it? Then that wouldn't be hope. What's the next part of the verse?
And then it says, as for my hope, who shall see it?
Who's going to see it? Romans 8:25 for those who may not be aware. Make it 24.
For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man sees, why do he yet hope for it? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. Likewise, the rock also help our infirmities, but we know not what we should pray for as we ought.
That's good. Now go back. Last verse, Job 17. Also, too, you just heard him with that passage, go back over his earlier. Sometimes you don't know what you ought to pray for. So the Ruach can make intercession for you.
Say, they shall go down to the bars of the pit.
They shall go down to the what?
To the bars of the pit.
And what's going to happen?
When our rest together is in the dust.
When our rest together is where?
In the dust.
Now, tell them what together is. Because who rested together in the dust? Who is he resting together in the dust with?
We referenced earlier. That is Yakad. One, unitedness, together, all together, alike.
So again, you buried with him in the likeness of his death, and that's how you rest in hope. Because what he started with, little Johnny, my breath got a pledge. There's a debt that has to be paid. When we motor through the entirety of that chapter, you can see what? There's discussion about that debt and then who paid it. And why do we read through all that? Because he's telling you his love is enough because he paid for that debt. And because he paid for that debt, his strength can be made perfect in weakness. And that's why the distressed and the discontented and those who are in debt can come to the cave, which is the justice of the people, and you make him your captain. But if you don't believe his love is enough, you'll never make him your captain. But then at the same token, he told you that his members are a shadow. So even though they're temporary, they can be made eternal later. But then also in one definition, in another aspect, if we want to go in another direction, his members are supposed to be protection one to another. But see, like we see in this particular day and time, it's only members of the people who you fellowship with. You know, one of the Hebrew definitions for fellowship is to be in a league and an alliance with. Now, if you're in a fellowship with a Mashiach, then you're supposed to be in league and alliance with everybody else who's in fellowship with him, meaning you in covenant with him. We'll stall out right there. You good? I don't come in here and stand up. If you got to stand up, stay behind the door. You come in here, you got to sit down. We'll say hallelujah, hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. Appreciate y'all. Bless y'all in the house. Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Love y'all. Y'all willing, man. We'll be back at it on Wednesday. I don't know when we're going to get to play no football. How much it's raining out here. I bet all of them soggy beyond compare. But again, though, we need somebody that can be able to pick up Calvin next week because I ain't going to be able to do it because he's going to be coming when the trap house opens. That's Trav. Trav's still working out him getting down here. He had a little unforeseen mishap happen to him. But Calvin can only fly in from Nashville to Orlando. Nashville don't have no connect to fly straight to the city.
So what he said.
So yeah, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. Y'all willing, man. We'll be back at it on the next one.